All right, hell yeah. I'm excited today. It's going to be my friend Esteban's first show. My friends are funnier than yours. Oh, shit. Make sure it's not too, like, loud, the music. And also, like, I have my happy light on, but I'm like, oh, man, the happy light makes for a weird glare, so I just have to, like, keep my head where my head blocks the happy light. Otherwise, it's, like, too happy. Maybe we should just turn it off. Okay, sad. It's a lot sadder in here with the happy light off. All right, that's what I'm excited for. It's a self-design art gallery at 6 o'clock, so I'm getting ready for that. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be doing some tried and true classics and some jokes I don't normally do, but because the one time I ever got a fucking like clip, I was doing these jokes. It looks like it's hard to line up getting a good comedy clip, and at least for me, it's been fucking hard. I mean, if you get a good clip in a good room where you don't hear your mom laughing, and like, because like that, even if it's like other people too, it's like if I hear her laughing, there's a part of me that's like, oh, well, I can't use that one now for my own soul. It's a good enough camera angle, good enough camera quality. What's going to happen is you're going to look fat, and you're not ever going to want to use that clip. So it's impossible. I'm kidding. I will if I had a clip that was good for every reason, but I didn't like. I thought I would use it. Like I would, if it was a good fucking comedy clip. Fuck yeah, I would still use it. Then I would just look hotter in person. Everyone would be like, "Oh my god, you were so funny in that clip, and you're so beautiful in person." It is. You know, there's such a thing with it too. We were always like, damn, if I just get that one good clip, I think I'd then become like a famous traveling comic. But like, I don't know. I don't know for sure if it's like that either. I don't think it's high rules of them. I don't think it's like that. I don't know though. I don't fucking know shit. Not completely. Alright, my verbal autobiography, because here I am, living. So, some repeats, but like, that just saves us from having to rewatch. It saves anyone from having to rewatch anything. I'll just keep answering the same questions, maybe adding more. A lot of this section is called origin stories, so it is going to be like not things that just probably happened yesterday. All right, let's see. What was your favorite toy or object? Oh shit. I have a feeling I'm going to have a hard time answering these questions today. It's funny because it's like when I had the other book, I complained about having my opinion asked too much. And it's like now I'm complaining about just telling my life stories too much. I also get really sometimes overwhelmed by concepts like favorite or most. Even like, it's like, whoa. I have to lay out. I might answer, but then I might remember something later. Like, especially if it's a long time ago, I don't maybe necessarily remember. But I do remember that I liked troll dolls. I got one. One thing I do regret getting rid of is all my troll dolls. I got a new one though. I had some classics. They all had cute butts. They weren't like the new age trolls. They were like the trolls that are basically humans. The way I almost imagine it, like I kind of feel like I look like a troll. Yeah, troll shit. Did you have an imaginary friend? Oh, we talked about this before. I wasn't, you know, I'm a lot now like I was as a kid, to be honest. I'm not bad, and I'm not dumb. I'm not even like, but I don't know. It's like a certain part of me just kind of struggles to take shit seriously, and I don't even know if that, I mean that in like a funny way, but like, there's almost been a part where I'm just like, in constant farce mode. Fart mode. But I had an imaginary friend when I was a kid, and his name was Mr. Nobody, and this was to highlight the fact mostly that I understood what an imaginary friend was. Nobody. But it's kind of funny that I would have something like that, because like I do remember considering the concept then of like if I'm like believing an imaginary friend, or like having like, I don't know, there always being something there. If it was a friend, that not being the worst thing. I do remember thinking that, like, because when I was a kid, I always wanted to have slumber parties. I used to get jealous of my parents that they would always get to sleep together. I was like, the only reason I wanted to get married was so I could have a forever slumber party. Like, that's, I like always wanted my friends to come over. I wanted to go over to their house. Like, I guess I hated sleeping alone. Maybe it would be like the way to put it, but I don't know. I just wanted to like spend time with people. And like, even like when my brother was little, I'd always like be like, oh man, like I had a trundle bed, so, and he would like, he was easy to get scared, so I'd be like, okay, yeah, now he's got to like sleep in, he's too scared, he won't have to sleep alone. I don't know. I guess I've grown accustomed to waking up alone enough to like, you know, like kind of be used to it. But that idea of, yeah, having like a constant that's a friend is funny. That I was like in like six years old, first grade. I had Mr. Nobody, the imaginary friend. But I do like remember thinking, again, the concept is that they're not really there. They're an imaginary friend. But it's funny because there's something in that does highlight me later understanding other things, like constantly there, friendly forces, which does help me not be so lonely. Or, well, I got a woeful spirit and that makes me lonely, but it's not the worst. Like, I don't know. I'm hopeful it won't last. Greatly assured it won't. I think a lot of people have lonely spirits, and like it actually makes me feel less alone to know that there's so many other lonely things out there. What were your nicknames as a kid? You really can't get shorter or cuter than Amy. It's pretty hard to find a nice 3-letter female name that sounds so cute. You can spell Amy other ways. Pure Prairie League sure as fuck did, but maybe everyone would stop falling out of love with Amy if they had spelled her name different. Talk about the Amy song by Pure Prairie League where they spell it A-M-I-E. Just add in an extra letter. Although if my name was spelled A-M-I-E, I could dot it with a heart, which would be cool. I just use the O's. There's no real hearts I can get out of the name Amy before Thompson. I'll do my hearts, the O's as hearts sometimes. Usually. I won't always do my O's as hearts, but like when I do my last name. Did you like your name growing up? You know, like I was about, so it's, yes, definitely. I had like a connection from my name without like kind of understanding it. One of the memories I don't have that is like a cute memory I've been told is like when I was little, my grandpa would like play with me as a baby and tell, like, say my name and try and like teach me my name. I think that's cute. When I was little, before I could read myself, my parents read me a chapter book, and I think I did talk about it on here, and it was like Amy some shit. It was Amy's Eyes. That's what it was called. And I think that the character might have even had fucking brown eyes. Like, it was like some random ass book. There's so many books written. But I liked, like, my parents picked a book with my name in it, and that, like, and I do know one of the first things, like, from teaching, like, little kids, one of the first things little kids know or learn is, like, to recognize their name in a group of names. To, like, have their little, they, you know, pick out their little name tag things and stuff. They find which one is their name. You know, you always got that kid that just picks a name they like the look of, but I, think that's probably what my parents were teaching when they would, because they, not only that, there was like a few things that you could get, like a children's book, and they would put your child's name in the book. So like I had like a collection of books that have my name in it, basically, and I like that. I like to collect songs with my name in it too. So I always liked my name, although like whenever I would play ponies or something, or like mermaids or like dolls or anything, I wouldn't play as Amy. I would always play as like a character name. Like I go, they're all, you know, probably something that you wouldn't even name a human. Well, maybe nowadays, but like, I do remember for a while doing Chloe as a name. I definitely remember that. And I think that came from I did Clover. So it was one of the ponies I would like, one of the pony names I'd use. Also, what's funny is I got into the Oregon Trail, but I liked to play it almost kind of like a, I don't know, like a fight to the end. About like I would get like the lowest conditions and then just like work the oxen and just be like, who's gonna make it to Oregon? And so I didn't want to use my name because I thought that was like bad juju to use my name in the game. Like, the thing with Sims is like if I ever did name a Sim me, I'd like made sure she didn't have like a bad Sim life. Like, you're not getting, I'm not gonna take the pool out of the ladder, take the ladder out of the pool for you. I like my name. I got interested in name meanings at a young age, and then understood that way later, like way more in the last few years, but I like how everything kind of lines up. All right, what was your relationship like with your parents? Right now, terrific. They're some of my best friends. I love hanging out with them. I love spending time with them. I love my parents. Hell yeah, I love my parents. As a teenager, a little more tumultuous, but like I just think that was the time. It was a time where they kind of were really trying to breed, I think, distrust between teenagers and parents. Like, the news always had all the time, your teenager's doing something you shouldn't like your teenager for. So it's like, it made it hard to get help for like mental illness things, or for people to really understand, or like to get good treatment for that, because it was treated as like you're a naughty teenager instead of someone with problems. Like, it was a hard time, but I love my parents because, like, even though like that fear was rampant and hard not to fall into, there were still a few things that like they like set their foot down at. Like, I could have been sent away for a camp, one of those like horse camps, and my mom, like, you know, the camps for troubled teens and stuff, but they end up usually resulting in more troubled adults. My mom like was okay with me going like to a treatment. Hell yeah. It takes a moment for everyone to check in again, but for the sake of Resurrected YouTube stories and then just moving on through these questions, yeah, that question's answered. We're moving on. Were you closer with your mom or your dad, or neither? I think like it's different relationships. I'm close to both my parents and in different ways. When I was like a kid, I felt I was like, I don't know, probably both of them. Always like a little bit my mom. As I got older, maybe more my mom, but also I like would fight more with my mom, so she would be like the one I would like get mad at more often too, or take my like anger out on. I think there's a lot of people taking anger out on their moms for a while. Hopefully this doesn't really happen so much with the kids that are growing up now, because I know a lot of dope women that are moms that I just can't really imagine anything that deserve that kind of vitriol from any of their little bred human babies when they grow up now. It's like, that's always like, I'm like, oh my gosh, if I did have a kid just to like hate me, like, why do I want to have a daughter who just like knows enough about me to really hurt my feelings? Like, I've done so good at like not really taking things seriously and kind of just hate myself enough to have this certain base that I could roll with punches from anyone else. But like, I think a daughter would like hit me hard, so I thankful I don't have to deal with that. Did you go to church? What kind? I did. I was raised Catholic. But I had lots of friends of lots of different denominations of Christianity. So I got to experience Baptist church, Lutheran churches, or the old non-denominational Christian church, which is very denominational. I don't know what that means. I even had a chance at an evangelical one. Definitely Mormon too, but not the Mormon church, but I hung out, like, I'll say out of all the ones I hang out with, the Mormons, most fun families. those are the most fun families. I'm gonna do eyeshadow and then probably be back. Alright, I gotta get going, but I like this. I'm gonna keep answering the questions. Alright, what was your first experience with death? Goldfish. Actually, I would say goldfish are a real surefire way to teach death to your kids. If not goldfish, you know, a hamster, as I talked about before. I did the show about like how hamsters die traumatic deaths, and this was based off of an entire subreddit dedicated to traumatic hamster deaths. So like, and honestly, I'm blessed for that. But the cool thing about goldfish and hamsters is right away you can get a kid pretty early. Like, love something, it's gonna die within 5 years. If you're lucky, you make it to 5 years with a goldfish or a hamster. I don't even. But that's almost unholy. Like that, I think that's possible. But you go that amount of time, it's a good, nice, easy life lesson, and an easy way to sort of get into it. Although, you know, when you're like a kid, 3 years with a pet does feel like a lifetime. But also, I have, like, you know, my own beliefs, so death is not necessarily like a permanent thing for me. Sometimes I'm not jealous of it, but like, I'm not jealous of. I'm thankful that like, you know, whatever. Did you believe in Santa the Tooth Fairy or Jesus longer? I still believe in Jesus, so probably not easily the longest. Oh shit, fuck, marry, kill, Tooth Fairy, Jesus, and Santa. I definitely gonna marry Jesus. I'm gonna fuck Santa, and I'm gonna kill the Tooth Fairy. Alright, what's the weirdest rule in your house growing up? I don't know. I think rules are weird in general. I love peace, and I completely respect order to a degree of that it is in place to keep so, but I don't sometimes like just real hard rules. It's tricky to exist, you know. Not easy. It's not easy at all to exist. We try to be good characters, try to be good, but like not ever easy, and very rarely comfortable. Oof. Just like being someone that's never ever known anything completely just really makes it hard for me to, one, want to set rules, two, want to follow them. Did you ever run away from home? Oh, this is so repeat. I was a dramatic teenager, so I definitely would do those things like, oh my gosh, like I said thank you to my parents for forgiving me, and then like thank you to the people who do, I believe, rest in peace, because there are people that like I was like, fuck that shit, I don't want to go meet it, like, you know, I don't want to do family friend shit. I'm gonna go with my friends and leave, and you know, bailed out on activities with people who are no longer with us here on under the water cycles and shit. So yeah. And then also continuing with the dramatics, because I've been full of woe, which does mean that I do sometimes like to be a part of or observe dramatics. I would like be like, oh, I'm pissed about stuff, and like go little kid run away with like my little like knapsack thing. I forget what they call them, my little bundle, my little runaway bundle. It'd be like a book and snacks, and I would like go into the garage and like sit and read until I basically ran out of snacks. Then I would be like, all right, going back inside. What was funny was like with my parents, I didn't really mean anything, but like when I got my brother, and like I would get him sad about it. Like, yeah, Joe, like I would tell him I'm leaving the house, and he'd be sad about it. He'd be like, no, don't leave us. My brother was also the kid that would cry by the door when my mom left. I liked him though. I remember trying to be a good big sister, and like my brother was crying by the door, and like I knew my mom would come back, but I knew like he was so little that it didn't matter what you said, he wasn't really gonna like believe it. And I just like I brought him a picture of my mom and I gave it to him. What did you want to be when you grew up? So like I thought when I grew up I would just be like a monster, an animal, or my mom. I didn't know about the whole career shit and the professions and what you like, how like what you do is what you be. Like I didn't know about all that. I just thought I would just grow up to be this thing that would be like some wild force. I didn't know like I would have to do all the stuff, and I wouldn't be good at all the stuff. I'm still not. This is what failing at adulting looks like. Adorable. I decide which of my many nose jewelries to put in my nose. It's not drugs, it's jewelry. I go like a silver. Basically, any of these would look sick, but I want something punk rock, but honestly, they're all punk rock. Got it. It's a weed leaf. I had weed in my nose, not the way we're supposed to do it. All right. That's it. I'm heading out. I'm continuing to exist, but in other places. Maybe I'll see you in some of them. Good luck. Oh yeah. Go dumb.